Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is the newest TMNT thing to arrive as of late. And while I'm skeptical about the design of Leatherhead, and Leatherhead being a woman and not a guy, and furthermore Leatherhead not being a animalistic killer like previous iterations, you guys are all out here talking about how April O'Neil is not sexy enough. So without further ado, let's get into that rabbit hole, shall we? First up, let me just dive through all of the different problems that people have with this iteration of the April O'Neil character. First of all, a lot of things that I'm seeing on social media and everything else that comes after is that people seemingly are upset because they can't jack off to this specific version of April. Albeit, this version of April has already been revealed to be 16, and the next problem with this, she's black. Where April O'Neil, when she was first introduced to Ninja Turtles, was a mixed race character, being almost black in her skin tone. And then modern iterations of the character turned her into the petite red-headed purporter that we all love. So let's dive into Mutant Mayhem's version of April. Once more, I'd like to clarify that people are hating on this version of April for 3 reasons, and that's pretty much it. She's fat, she's black, and she's not hot enough. So, with that in mind, let's dive into April O'Neil from Mutant Mayhem. April O'Neil is a bullied and ridiculed 16-year-old girl. So if you're trying to get attracted to a 16-year-old girl, that's kind of sus, guys. But she is a 16-year-old girl. She's in secondary school, and she's trying to make her way in the world as a reporter / journalist. And she writes news for the school paper. Unfortunately, when she had her chance to be in like the big news for the school, she choked and ended up vomiting everywhere, in which just added to her ridicule. And throughout the movie, we see her develop further and further, and it's made crystal clear that she has this love, this passion for reporting and being this sort of journalist character, which we've seen a lot of times with different versions of April, so it's not too new. She's a very quirky character, she's fun and entertaining, and I really don't see a whole lot wrong with her. I like her. I think for the world that this version of the Turtles is trying to set up, she does what she needs to do. And I love the way the actress who voiced this character went with it, and how she portrayed the character. There's nothing wrong with this character, at least in my eyes. She's just a version of April that happens to be black and fat, and also apparently not hot enough, even though she's a 16-year-old girl. And even the Turtles themselves are young, and they're coming of age. They're going to develop into the epic, badass Turtles that we all love from the various iterations of the characters we grew up loving. So it's not like she needs to be anything else than that. She's a smart and confident young woman who will eventually develop into a closer adaptation of April. Yeah, it's not going to change. Her skin's not going to be different. And she's probably not going to be the petite redhead that we all love. This is a different version of April for a new generation. And if you don't like that, then you don't have to be here. Things are going to change. The world is always changing. Everything is bound to change eventually. So, with the new direction they're going with April, people are upset. Obviously. She's not white. She's not a ginger. She doesn't have a tight-fitting jumpsuit. And yeah, that's what you're gonna see. But the reality of changing things for a new generation is something that people are gonna see time and time again. Things are gonna change, things are not gonna stay the same forever. Because if they stayed the same forever, it would be a very boring trip to the movies and to your cable box. Going off topic for a second here, but going forward, I would love to eventually see this version of April grow up and don the navy blue jumpsuit, which the black version of the character, when first introduced, had. I just think it would be a great nod to those original comic books. But back to my little rant. Not everybody is going to like me for what I just said, and not everybody is going to agree with me. But the reality of operating a successful franchise that has been around for decades now, my dad has watched the Ninja Turtles, and he's from the last decade. So the reality of operating a franchise as successful as the Turtles and putting it in different medias like games and movies and even cartoon shows, it causes you to have to rethink the formula every once in a while because things are not going to work if you continue to dry, rinse, and repeat the same stuff over and over again. So I think that Seth Rogen wanted to change it up just a little bit and kind of tap into the way April was depicted in the earliest days. And not everybody is going to like that. But what I'm trying to say once again is I don't think people should get that upset over whether a reporter in a fictitious world who's friends with a bunch of mutant turtles is black or white or sexy or ugly. I don't think people should get that upset about it. It's a franchise that you either hate or you love. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And with that, do take care, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.